Hello everybody, it's Slippery Jack, and welcome back to another video. And today, the top 10 best Boards of Canada songs. Alright, so I have been wanting to do this video for a long time, or a video like this. I never got around to it, and I do plan on doing this for the other discography reviews that I've done, as well as for future discography reviews. And yeah, so first, want to get some disclaimers out of the way. This list is all my opinion. The popularity of the songs are not taken into account. So your favorite BOC song might not be on this list. But yeah, and then also this list is subject to change. It is not final. My number one might not be the same in 3 years. Though it probably will be. But yeah, this changes around a lot. I was changing this list around for weeks before I did this video. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it with my number 10 pick. At number 10, we have The Beach at Red Point from GeoGaddy. This has always been a big favorite for me. I loved it on first listen, and it's only gotten better since. Its chord progression is dark yet comforting, and its build-up to a much trippier, eerier sound is just awesome. Why it isn't well known is beyond me. At number 9, we have 1969 from GeoGaddy. There's something about this one that just makes it strangely addictive. It's a really weird song, and there is nothing like it anywhere, and that's why I love it. It keeps the eeriness of the rest of the album, but it is strangely a lot more welcoming. I don't know what to say besides go check it out for yourselves. Number 8, we have An Eagle in Your Mind. I know I wasn't too enthusiastic about this one during my review of Music Has the Right to Children, and I never really considered it to be a big favorite. But while making this list, I came to realize that there really isn't much better than this song. Fact is, this song has just engraved itself into my life, and when I feel like getting back into BOC, but I'm not really sure about, this song hooks me every time. There's something about its melody and its bass line and the overall build-up. It's just so satisfying, and that transition into a 4x4 time signature is just awesome. It's just a great stinking song. Number 7, we have Happy Cycling from Music Has the Right to Children. The reason why this was not included on that album as a studio track still baffles me. It is one of the longest BOC songs, clocking up to almost 8 minutes. It's got a fun beat that continues throughout the entire track, and the first half is dominated by some detached sounding melodies along with some weird sounds, from treated choirs to seagulls to a sample of someone saying popsicle. And then some big lush melodies come in the second half that are just like really memorable and addicting. some of the best they've ever done. It is both emotionally awarding and one of their most interesting and immersive tracks. At number 6, we have Dave Van Cowboy from the Campfire Head phase. Really obvious, I know, but it's freaking Dave Van Cowboy, guys. It's a very different track for Boards of Canada, being mainly guitar driven. You've got some distorted guitars at the beginning that are used mainly to build up the atmosphere, and some twangy western guitars that dominate the rest of the track, accompanied by some beautiful melodies and some strings. It's truly something special and deserves every bit of love it gets.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
At number 5, we have Aquarius from Music Has the Right to Children. Let's follow up Dave Van Cowboy with another one of their most iconic tracks. Aquarius will take you on this strange psychedelic adventure. I think that what makes this track so memorable is not only its funky bass line and melodies, but mainly its various samples, from guys saying orange to some kids saying, yeah, that's right. If this was a turnoff for you, I can understand that, but for me, that only added to the overall nostalgia and psychedelic feel of the song, and it comes together so perfectly, and yeah, just great stuff. Oh dear. Another very obvious choice. At number 4, we have Everything You Do Is a Balloon from High Scores. This is perhaps the most obvious choice, but Everything You Do Is a Balloon is a monster of a track. One of their longer ones. It creates this bleak yet comforting atmosphere, and the beat that carries it along is just perfect. There isn't much to it, but I think it best exemplifies the appeal of BOC in general. For the longest time, I considered it to be my favorite, and in a way, it still is. My entire top 4 is so unbelievably close, I could have gone with either one of them. But I was feeling these next 3 a little more. At number 3, we have Alpha and Omega from GeoGaddy. In terms of artistic brilliance, Alpha and Omega trumps them all. It's another one of their longer, more fleshed out tracks. There's lots of different elements that went in here, some Indian influence on the percussion, and some almost atonal flutes that give it this real avant-garde quality, some acid house influence, and the main melody just has this very mysterious quality to it that isn't the most engaging at first, but after repeat listens becomes extremely addicting. The song is everything I love, so it would make perfect sense for it to be up here. I mean, like, you know me, I like my long, fleshed out tracks. Oh, and did I mention those spacey mechanical sounds at the end that take over? Man, that gives me chills every time, and that cemented this one as a favorite. Number 2, we have Roy G. Biv from Music Has the Right to Children. It may be short and simple, but that hook is just so good. Has a lot of emotional value to it. Its bass line is deep and satisfying. The synth melodies and piano are just beautiful. There is no right or wrong mood to listen to this song. It brings comfort in times of hardships and makes happy moments even better. And while listening, my liking for tracks like Alpha and Omega wavers depending on my mood, it never my love for Roy G. Biv never wavers. And before I get into my number one, here are some honorable mentions. Enough of that. Let's get into my number one. At number one, we have Oscar's See-Through Red Eye from the Campfire Head phase. This is not an obvious choice at all. In fact, I never hear this one talked about, and I cannot tell you why that is. This track went from being just a song that would come on and I'd be like, okay, this is kind of cool, to my number one BOC track ever. I never believed that something could top like Roy G. Biv or Everything You Do Is a Balloon, but this one, it's just so good. I think if you were to take the artistic brilliance of Alpha and Omega and the amazing hook of Roy G. Biv and make one great song out of it, Oscar See-Through Red Eye would be the product. Its main melody is very infectious and addicting, and there is so much happening on here. Sounds are constantly being added and flying around you. They're being panned from ear to ear. And something about it just always makes me happy. I usually stop what I'm doing when this song comes on now just to soak up the overall feeling of it. And it doesn't, but you know what? If you're not that kind of person who likes to do that, it's not like, it's not going to demand your attention either. So, and that's what I love about it. So I can't, if I'm like doing my homework or something and the song comes on and I'm like really doing good, like I can just be like, oh, I can't do this right now. I'm just gonna keep doing my homework. But it's still cool having this song on. But then when I'm done or when I'm not busy, I can put on the headphones and just immerse myself into it. I don't know what else to say, but this is my number one Boards of Canada song, and that's all we have for today. So, comment down below, what are your favorite Boards of Canada songs? What did you think of this list? And if there are like any other videos that you have, video ideas that you have for BOC, let me know in the comments, and also tell me which one of the artists I have reviewed already deserves a top 10 list. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to them all, but I mean, I'm just curious, like what should I do next? So that's the end of the BOC discography review. I'm gonna do something very different for my next one. I'm gonna be reviewing Riverside, which is a progressive rock band. Something that doesn't really get talked about a lot on this channel, but I'm hoping you guys enjoy. So I'll see you all later.